Hi everyone, I'm Jason Hatchell, Managing Director of JSource Corporation and creator of the Interview Pyramid interviewing technique. Last time we talked about implementing accountability-based competency questions into your interview regimen. This time we'll talk about implementing communication competency questions into your interviews. Having lived in Japan most of my adult life, the topic of communication is near and dear to my heart, and largely where the concept of the interview pyramid started. I needed a way to measure communication capability quickly and efficiently that would also provide insight to my clients to identify the right talent quickly. Some people would simply rely on TOEIC or TOEFL tests to measure this skill, and having written educational books on those tests, I know that they have a place. But being a speaker of Japanese myself, I know that there's a big difference to getting a high test score and getting something done. I think that my simple communication competency hierarchy helps you, the interviewer, determine this. For the purpose of showing how to use the interview pyramid interviewing methodology, this time let's pretend that we're trying to hire a country manager for Japan, leading up a company of 100 people in the IT sector related to the online payments industry. A country manager would be a level 3 hire, country head, so we need to be sure to ask level 3 questions to ensure suitability. In terms of the highest subcompetency of the communication competency, persuasion, this means we should ask questions regarding this person's ability to guide people towards action. Of course, level 3 questions are at the top of the hierarchy. We should also check to see if this person can share their opinions, level 2, as well as share basic information, level 1, both of which come lower in the hierarchy. Just like for preparation in the previous 2 episodes covering the key competencies of knowledge and accountability, write up the questions you want to ask and the answers that you want to hear from candidates, corresponding to the level that you need to hire. Let's start off with a basic question focused on the lowest competency hierarchy level of communication. Oftentimes you can cover this when you ask your initial knowledge questions. What is your role now? How long have you worked there? How many staff do you manage? What are your annual sales numbers? Etc. The key here, are the answers clear and concise? Do you understand what the person is saying? Let's not overthink information. It's the most basic subcompetency. If you don't understand them, be polite, of course, but it's probably best to show them the door. The next subcompetency level up on the communication competency hierarchy is opinion. And keep in mind, opinion questions can be tough for potential candidates to answer, oddly enough. Interview takers are often trying to please the interviewer and look for the right answer in your head and not share how they really feel. If possible, press for a real opinion. I ask questions like this to check if the person can share their opinion. What are the trends in your market? How is that affecting your business now? How is it affecting your job day to day? What direction do you see the market industry going? There are any number of questions that you can ask, but ask yourself, are these answers insightful, antiquated? Do they represent the direction that your organization wants to go in? A difference of opinion isn't bad, of course, but a very divergent opinion could mean trouble down the road with your hire. Lastly, for any country head, you want to cover level 3 communication questions. You want to know if they can persuade people and manage stakeholders. Too many interviewers focus on downward staff management and not enough on managing upward stakeholders critical to the success of the country manager. I ask these types of questions to check for persuasion capability. Tell me about a time you needed to reconcile overseas management expectation versus local reality. Tell me about a difficult client claim and how you solved it. And you might recall this question from the last episode. Tell me about a time where you had to implement an internal project facing resistance. Who resisted and how did you overcome that resistance? As you see, sometimes you can check for 2 competencies within one question. It's a good idea to ask similar probing questions about any changes that you need to drive within your organization. Some interviewers are afraid of scaring off potential employees by not asking these tough questions, afraid that they'll reveal a dysfunctional organization to the candidate, but seriously, every organization has issues. You'll regret it far worse than 6 months if you later have to go through the hiring process again due to a mismatch of skill and expectations. As always, write down what you're looking for in these answers in advance. Hopefully by now you see the correlations between job levels and the key and sub-competencies. But what if you have 2 candidates who are equally talented? As a recruiter, I'd say, hey, hire them both. But if that's not feasible, in the next video, I'll show you a method about how to solve potential ties in candidate evaluations. And please remember, this video is just an ultra-simplified version of interviewing. By engaging us for consultation or facilitation of this program, we can assist you in creating more detailed questions depending on your specific hiring need. Start learning more by visiting our website at www.interviewpyramid.com. Once there, you'll find a series of videos that explain the interview pyramid interviewing technique in detail. You can also find us at these other places too. I look forward to seeing you again. Until next time, as I always say, Ask the right questions, get the right hires. See you soon. Bye-bye.